Welcome all my dear friends. Today I'll take you in the world of the viewers, particularly Indian viewers, because they are ostracized in this world because of the modern innovation. But Sarojini Naidu, who is a poet of this poem, make us helpless to go and sometime, at least sometime, peep inside the world of the Sarojini and the world of the Indian viewers. Today we are dealing with the section 2 poetry 2.2 Indian viewers, and this poem is composed by Sarojini Naidu. Before going to learn the poem, I think that student must have an idea that whom does we call Indian viewer. Exactly the screen, or on the screen you can see that one picture I made you for, I carried for you. This is the picture of the Indian viewer. See, the frame is made of the plank, and behind that there is a man who works something, in the sense interlacing some thread and making the fabric out of this. Now I think that I'm sure you should have an idea that who are called Indian weavers. So this is the Indian weaver, and the frame that made of the plank, that is called the handloom. What is that? This is called the handloom. Now we have to see this poem line by line, but before that we will go step by step. So initially we'll go with icebreaker. Now the question is that what is icebreaker? Icebreaker simply some questions that make us familiar with the poem. Let's see. Artisans are also called the craftsmen. They are creator of the diverse goods and use their hands to create unique, functional and also decorative items using traditional techniques. Artisans or the craftsmen are the same. They are using their own hands. They have technique. They are skillful. They are dexterous to make some unique thing by their hands. They do not use any technique of the modern innovation. Their hand itself that made of the modern innovation, and they use this to make some beautiful crafts. Okay, who are these craftsmen, or who are the artisans? We'll get some of them. Goldsmith, who make the jewelry of the gold. Thereafter, ceramist, the craftsman who shape the pottery. Instrumental makers, who make the guitar or tom-tom or tabor to us, to beat that or to create some musical rhythm in our life. That's called the instrumental makers. Potters, who make the different pots of the mud, for example celery and different pots. Thereafter, cobblers, we are familiar with the cobblers. Cobbler are making the chappals and shoes and different articles that we use to wear in our leg, okay, to also embellish our leg with the different articles. And thereafter, corder in Marathi we call it pinjari. With his technique or with his skill, he make very beautiful bed for us, or in Marathi we call it gadi. So they are the corders. Thereafter, bamboo articles maker, we know if we go in the remote areas of the India or the remote areas of the Maharashtra, you'll see that many tribal peoples are there, gypsies are there, who make a beautiful craft, who make a beautiful articles of the bamboo, which is made of the bamboo, and they are very skillful about this. So these are called the artisans. We are familiar with that craftsmen and artisans, whom we call that. And usually I think that you also have crossed some of the different type of artisans of the Maharashtra and India. Thereafter, discuss with your partner the season, occasion when we need. Okay, so different. Of course, we are not use the same cloth at every events of the life. There are the different events, and we use different kinds of cloth for that. For example, woolen cloth. Woolen cloth in the sense we simply use this woolen cloth, sweater and jacket, and our gloves only in the winter season. So these cloths are specially made of the different threads and different techniques and different skill. Casual cloth, we usually wear this casual cloth at informal time at a home. Rich silk cloth, many events or many celebrations are there in the life, and we used to make or we make our attire with the rich silk cloth on the occasion of the marriages or the occasion of the birthdays, and so the functions are there in our life. Colorful, comfortable clothes. When we want to or when we wish to go outside of the home, wanted to purchase something, wanted to go in the market, that time we use colorful and comfortable clothes. So different cloths are there, and these are specially made for the different occasions. But this is all the skill and the dexterous and skill of the artisans of the craft or the craftsman. Thereafter, let's play a game. The teacher will ask you the students some of the questions. Student will understand there are some exceptions to the general rules. One who views, of course, is called a viewer. One who sings is a singer. One who teaches is a teacher. One who play a game is a player. One who dance is a dancer. And one who cook is it cooker? Obviously not. We call it chef. Thereafter, we see that having seen a picture of Gandhiji spinning on his charkha, discuss the reason behind this. One has given below. We know that charkha or that spinning wheel is particularly related with the thread, and thread is here the symbol of today's poem. So, why particularly Gandhiji shown in many of the picture, many of the images with particularly with charkha? So what are the reason? The practice of Swadeshi, particularly I am telling you that he's fond of the Swadeshi, or the use of the thing produced locally was the foundation of Swaraj, and to make his countrymen self-reliant and with the self-sufficient was his life's mission. For attending that, he led the certain condition. He did not want to add more mills for producing Swadeshi cloth. A mill is owned by the capitalist. Parts of its complicated machinery are imported from outside, and he was strongly against of it. It robs the use of hands of many breadwinners or the earners, and exploit the mill hand. The laborer are uprooted from the native place and work mechanically like the robot. And Gandhiji made a strong contempt over this, and that's why he was against of all the foreign machinery and the cloth and the terracotta cloth which were specially made by the Britishers. Okay. So this becomes the reason that Gandhiji always seen on the photographs with the charkha or the spinning mill. Thereafter, name some tools used by the weavers: looms, handlooms, and power looms. Handlooms, the weavers are particularly works over the handlooms, and handloom works on the hand, on the power of the hands, and power looms work on the power like the electricity or some other power of the mechanism. So these are the tools. Thereafter, name some types of yarn used by the weavers. We know that when we go in the market, different kinds of, we have various choices. If one is particular about the cloth, so he can get a cloth of linen. Now in these days, these linen cloths are new for us. But day by day inventions are there, and different cloths and different threads are making the different cloths. So cotton are there, polyesters are there, Banarasi saris are there, Kashmiri silk is there. So different kinds of artisans are there in India, and they are making the same, and they are making the different kinds of fabrics for the people of India. And that having the backdrop of the poem and let's have an introduction about the Sarojini Naidu, who has written this poem, who has composed this poem. She was born on 1879 and died on 1949. She was a political activist, feminist, and the first Indian woman who became the president of the Indian National Congress. She was a political activist. Now, who was a political activist and what is a political activist? What does it mean? It means an activist is a person who campaigns for the some kind of social changes by involving in movement, by involving in politics. Thereafter, she was a feminist. Feminist, once again, is an activist who works or who strive for the betterment of the women, who strive for the justification of the woman, who strive for the equal rights of the woman. And later on, she became the president of the Indian National Congress. She was an important figure in the Indian struggle for independence. When women were restricted up to the earth and chula, that time she did so much work, and that's why she became the president of the Indian National Congress. She was an important figure of the Indian struggle for independence. Sarojini Naidu's work as a poet earned for the sobriquet of the Nightingale of India. Sobriquet in the sense, some people or literist people are known by the different name. In Marathi we call it topan now. Many literist figures are known with such a sobriquet, and she has also earned the sobriquet of the Nightingale of India. Their literary work is when the literist work resemble with one particular topic or some particular object, that time the people or the society confer this kind of name or sobriquet to the literist, and that's why that times, because of her literary work, because of her pen, Sarojini Naidu earned her sobriquet of the Nightingale of India. Later, she became the governor of the United Province in 1949 and becoming the first woman to hold the office of the governor in independent India. It was not easy for us. No, nowadays it's so easy, what kind of work she did. But that time it was a very tough task for the women to earn such kind of things. So it was really difficult. It was very tiresome for her. Though she had done everything and made her name immortal in this world. Thereafter, we'll go and touch the theme of the poem. Indian Weaver is a short poem where the poet talks about the three different types of the garment that the weaver wears at the three particular times of the day. Each stanza of the poem represents the three important events of the human life, that is birth, adulthood and death. The colors mentioned in the stanzas are very significant as they indicate the mood related to the events. In this modern era, it is fact that we are 100%, we are flat ostracize these viewers, and that's why we should not forget the contribution of the viewers, what they have been giving to the Indian society. They are embellished our society, they are embellished the different events of the life. So one should not forget the contribution, and that's why she asked us to refurbish her memories with the poetic lines, and that's why she has devoted this poem to the weavers of India. We'll go and see the poem line by line. Once again, I'm telling you, the poem is written by Sarojini Naidu, where she had talked about the three types of the dresses that the Indian weavers wear at the three particular times of the day, and has laying the stages of the man's life with his garment. This poem shows a discussion between the poetess and the weavers, where she asks the weavers and the latter reply. So we'll go step by step. Let's see. Weavers weaving at the break of the day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wings of the halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. See, first two lines are in question poem, where in response to the question, next two lines are in answer form. So weavers weaving at the break of the day. Weavers weaving. Weavers are the person who works on that handloom and interlace the thread, and after interlacing the thread, they make a fabric out of that. Weaving is the process of interlacing thread into the fabric. So at the break of the day in the sense morning time, break of the day in the sense at a dawn time, the time between 5 to 6:30, or usually we can say the time between 5 to 7. So weavers usually, you know that rural peoples wakes up early in the morning, so we were weaving at the break of the day. The weaver or the weavers wake up early in the morning at a break of the day at a dawn time, and the poet or the poetess asked the question, why do you weave a garment so gay? You are looking so happy, you are looking so good, you are looking in mirth, your mood is so happy. What's happened? Why you are so joyfully? And with joy or with gay, you are weaving a garment. What's the reason behind this? Why are you weaving such a garment? Whom do you are weaving such a garment? With your gay mood. What's the reason behind this? Okay, what's the reason behind this? Blue as the wings of the halcyon wild, we view the robes of the newborn child. Blue as the wings of the halcyon wild. Did you know? Did you know halcyon? Halcyon wild. Halcyon is also known with the African bird. Okay, see here, I'm showing you it is also known with the kingfisher name. See the color of the kingfisher bird, okay, and the colorful cloth of the newborn baby. The weaver weaving that cloth for the newborn baby. See the color of the feathers of the kingfisher, and the same feather you can resemble, you can see on the tunic, on the frock of that infant or that baby. So, blue as the wings of the halcyon wild, we view the robes of the newborn child. Blue indicates the happiness. Blue is such a color. Certain indications are there behind the colors, and it is particularly shown in this poem. Blue as the wings of the halcyon wild. The blue color is like a halcyon wild, and I am weaving the cloth for the newborn child, which is as same as the wings of the halcyon wild. Now it is the answer of the weavers that I am weaving the clothes in so happy mood, so mirth mood. This robe, or I am weaving this robe for the newborn baby. So in the first stanza, the poetess questions the weaver that why are they weaving clothes early in the morning? That seems to be quite beautiful and charming and a particular color. The poet is curious to know about these clothes, and that seems quite special. So the weaver reply that the clothes that they are weaving are blue as the wings of the halcyons, which is other name as a kingfisher. I have shown you the picture of that, whose wings are bright blue in the color. The weaver says that they are weaving the robes of the newborn child, a young one, infant one who had just come to the world. And this stanza describes the first stage of the human life, which is full of freshness, happiness, beauty, glory, hope, optimism, etc. And there is no place for the sorrow at this stage. Early in the morning, one should not be sorrowful or in solace. So, I'm telling in Marathi, weavers weaving at the break of the day. Weavers म्हणजे विणकर आता सकाळी सकाळी उठलेले आहेत आणि पोएटेस त्यांना विचारते आहे की व्हाय डू यू वेअर अ गार्मेंट सो गे. इतक्या आनंदामध्ये तुम्ही जे गार्मेंट्स, जे कपडा विणता आहे ते कोणासाठी विणता आहे, इतक्या आनंदामध्ये तुम्ही दिसतात. अर्थातच आपण सकाळी खूप आनंदामध्ये असतो. मॉर्निंगमध्ये सकाळी सकाळी कसली चिंता करायची. आणि म्हणून तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की गावकरी असतील की वीवर हे सहसा ग्रामीण भागामध्येच राहतात. ग्रामीण भागातील लोक सकाळी सकाळी उठत असतात. तर ते सकाळी सकाळी उठलेले ॲट द ब्रेक ऑफ द डे मीन्स ॲट अ डॉन, ॲट अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग. तर हे सकाळी सकाळी उठलेले आहे. आणि म्हणून कवयित्री त्यांना प्रश्न विचारते की तुम्ही सकाळी सकाळी उठले, याचं कारण नेमकं काय आहे आणि कोणासाठी तुम्ही इतक्या आनंदामध्ये कपडे विणता आहे. उत्तर तिकडे येतं आहे, प्रश्नाला उत्तर मिळतं आहे, विणकरांकडून उत्तर मिळतं आहे की ब्ल्यू एज द विंग्स ऑफ द हॅल्सियन वाइल्ड. आम्ही कपडे विणतो आहे ते ब्लू कलरचे विणतो आहे, आणि ब्लू कलर हा आनंदाचा एक प्रतीक असतो. आणि तो ब्लू कलर कशासारखा आहे, कारण ब्लू फार वेगवेगळ्या ब्लूमध्ये सुद्धा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे शेड्स असतात. आणि हॅल्सियन ऑल्सो नोन ॲज अ किंगफिशर, मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं त्याचं पिक्चरसुद्धा मी तुम्हाला दाखवलं आहे, मी तुम्हाला दाखवलेलं आहे की तो कलर जो असतो हा हॅल्सियन पक्षाच्या पंखासारखा असतो आणि त्याच्यासारखे कपडे जे आहे हे आम्ही काय करणार आहे, आमच्या नवीन अर्भक, आमच्या नवीन बाळासाठी आम्ही इथे विणतो आहे आणि म्हणून आम्ही इतके आनंदी आहोत. ही दिवसाची सुद्धा पहिला फेज होता, हा मनाचा सुद्धा आणि कपड्याचा सुद्धा हा पहिला फेज जो होता, हे अतिशय सुंदररित्या इंटरट्वाईन यांनी करण्याचा प्रयत्न इथे केलेला आहे. Thereafter we'll see or we'll go in the second stanza. Weavers weaving at the fall of the night, why do we wear garments so bright? Like the plumes of the peacock purple and green, we weave the marriage bells of a queen. Weavers, now the weavers continues his work or their work till the night. It's a fall of the night. It's a dusk time. There is a twilight. There is a time of the twilight. Weaver's weaving at the fall of the night. But weaver has changed his mood. Weaver has changed his cloth. And weaver is working, or weaver works something different work. The work of the weaving, but with a different color, with a different intention, with a different event. Weavers weaving at the fall of the night, why do you wear garments so bright? It is the evening time. We know that evening time is also a fresh time for us. You know, many birthdays and celebrations and marriage ceremonies take place on evening time. So at evening time, it's also bright. Weavers is also happy at the time. So weavers weaving at the fall of the night, evening time. There is the evening time. There is a twilight time. There is a dusk time. But weaver still continue its work. So why? Once again, the poetess asked the same question to the weaver. Why do we wear a garment so bright? You are weaving the clothes so bright, so silky, so fresh. Now I am asking you, why do you wear a garment so bright? Whom do you wear so bright garment? I need to know the answer from your tongue. So, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we view the marriage of the bells of queen. Now, here is the plumes and feathers of the peacock. See here, the different colors are there: purple, green, all kinds of exactly the weavers weaving the cloth with the same colors as you're watching in this picture, the plumes of the peacock, purple and green. So now you have an idea that what kinds of colors are there. So in response to the question, why do you wear a garment so bright? Like the plumes of the peacock, purple and green, we wear the marriage bells of the king. Now we are weaving, we are working, we are weaving the fabric for the marriage bell of the queen. Now it is the different segment. Now it is the different phrase. First stanza was devoted to the infant, and that was the blue color, that was the ancient world. There was a symbolism. Now in the second stanza, the weavers are weaving the cloth for the veil of the queen, for the marriage ceremony. So bright cloth, you know, set in the marriage ceremony, bridal used to wear some bright cloths, silky cloths, and that's why, like the plumes of the peacock, purple and green, with all these colors, weavers are making the fabrics for the marriage bells of the queen. In this stanza, the poetess meet the Indian weavers again during the fall of the night at the evening time, and that's why they are weaving a cloth late in the evening, which is the time when most of the Indian marriages take place. I already told you about that. She also asked, why are weaving a garment so bright like the plumes of the peacock, purple and green? The weavers reply to the cloth is rightly and richly colored because they are weaving it for the queen, which she will use to make the marriage well. This stanza describes the second or adult stage of the life when the human quest for the better and prosperous life. The colored purple and green symbolizes the ups and downs of the life that make adulthood bright. So this is the meaning of the second stanza. I am telling in Marathi, weavers weaving at the fall of the night. आता काय करतोय तो weaver संध्याकाळ झाली आहे तरीही त्याचं काम चालूच आहे, न थकता न करता. संध्याकाळ झालेली आहे, सांज वेळ झालेली आहे, तरीही मात्र त्याचं काम चालूच आहे. आणि म्हणून कवित्री त्या weaverला पुन्हा प्रश्न विचारते आहे की अरे बाबा, तू आता गारमेंट जो विणतो आहे इतकं सुंदर सिल्की शायनी गार्मेंट झालं, तुम्ही कोणासाठी विणताय, आता नेमकं तुम्ही काम काय करता आहे. लगेच इन रिस्पॉन्स टू द सेम क्वेश्चन, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, like the plums of the peacock purple and green, we wear marriage veils of the queen. आता आम्ही जे कपडे विणतो आहे ते त्याचा कलर जो आहे त्या पंखांच्या, मोरांच्या पंखासारखा आहे. मी तुम्हाला हे दाखवलं आहे की ते पंखांचे कलर कशा प्रकारचे आहेत. डिफरंट काइंड्स ऑफ शेड्स आर देअर इन द फिदर्स और इन द प्लम्स ऑफ द पिकॉक. अँड इथे सांगितलेलं आहे की आता मॅरेज, तुम्ही बघितलं असेल की मॅरेज वेल्स असतील किंवा वधूचे जे कपडे असतात ते अतिशय सुंदर ब्राईट कलरचे, कारण असा प्रसंग जीवनामध्ये एकदाच येत असतो आणि म्हणून सुंदर ब्राईट सिल्की अशा प्रकारचे कपडे असतात. मोरांसारखे डिफरंट कलर्स त्याच्यावरती असतात. आणि विणकरांना ही अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारची आयडिया आहे की नेमकं नवीन बाळासाठी कोणत्या कलरचे कपडे विणावे आणि मॅरेज असतील किंवा लग्न समारंभ असतील तेव्हा वधूसाठी नेमके कोणत्या प्रकारचे कपडे विणावे, त्याच्यामध्ये कोणत्या प्रकारचा कलर, त्याच्यामध्ये थ्रेड इंटरट्वाईन करावे, त्याचा संबंध कशासोबत आहे, ते नेमकं काय इंडिकेट करत असतात, हे कवीला अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारे माहीत असतं. आणि म्हणून त्या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर विणकर असं देतात की लाईक द प्लम्स ऑफ द पीकॉक पर्पल अँड ग्रीन वी वेअर द मॅरेज वेल्स ऑफ द क्वीन. की आता आम्ही जे कपडे बनवतो आहे, हे फॅब्रिक्स जे बनवतो आहे ते नववधूच्या नववधूचे जे काही कपडे असतात सुंदर ब्राईट कलरफुल असतात त्यांच्यासाठी आम्ही ते विणतो आहे. दिस स्टांजा इज डेडिकेटेड टू द सेकंड फेज ऑफ द लाईफ, दॅट इज ॲडल्टहूड, अँड इट हॅज मेन्शन्ड अ सो मच डिफरंट मिनिंग that related to the life. Now after having the second stanza, after having the meaning of the second stanza, we'll move towards the third stanza of the poem. Weavers weaving the solemn and still, why do you wear in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white is a cloud, weave you a dead man's funeral shroud. Now the mood has been changed, now the phase of the day also has been changed, now the atmosphere also has been changed. Poetess has beautifully, artistically changed the color, changed the phase of the day, changed the fabric of the life, and she has intertwined very classically in this stanza. Weavers weaving at the solemn and still, there was a midnight time, means the time after 10. So after 10 we know that how is the atmosphere after the 10. There is a quite calm atmosphere, and weavers weaving solemn and still in the sense so calm atmosphere, गांभीर्यपूर्वक अशा प्रकारचं शांतता वातावरण. आणि आपल्याला तसंही माहीत आहे की आफ्टर 10 people used to sleep in the night, and so weavers still continues his work because work is pending. It's want to be continuous work. So we were weaving solemn and still. What do you view in the moonlight chill? There was a moonlight chill. There was a chilling atmosphere, and still the work is going on. So once again, the poetess asks the same weaver, what do you view in the moonlight chill? Because the atmosphere is not happy now. It was midnight, or it is a midnight. It is a solemn and still, though it was not midnight, but it was a night. It was two night, and when in the such a late night, weavers weaving still continues his work. So the question normally asked by the poetess side, what do you do in the moonlight chill? So in response to the same question, white as a feather and white is a cloud, we view a dead man's funeral shroud. Funeral. Actually, this is the last stage of the life, funeral white shroud. See, you are looking at the dead body which is winded up, which is wrapped up in the white shroud. And how is the color of the shroud? As white as feather of the bird. This is the last stage of the life. This is the last phase of the life, last phase of the day, and that's why very meticulously poetess has resembled the color, the phase of the life, the fabric of the life, very artistically. So weavers weaving in the Solomon style, why do you wear in the moonlight chill? White is a feather and white is a cloud, we wear a dead man's funeral. Now in the last stanza, weavers views or continue his work in the chill moonlight, but the work is something different. That weaver came in the last phase of the life, after having or after the death of the man, or after the death of the human being, it needs to be covered with a shroud. And how is the color of the shroud? It is as white as feather of the as white as feather. Okay. So in this last stanza, the poet is find the viewer quite sorrowful, quiet and silent. They are weaving something weird in the dead of the night, which is colorful and lifeless. So rather than asking why they are weaving, she asks what are they weaving. The weaver's response, or in response to the question, the weaver replied that they are weaving the shroud, which means a cloth used to put on the dead body. This represents the final stage of the life, that is death, which is a lifeless and emotionless, just like the white cloud or feather. However, the white color also symbolizes the eternal peace and the calm that comes with a death. So in this stanza, we came to the last phase of the life. The color of the shroud is as white as a feather, and this was the last question. We came to the last phase of the day, last phase of the life, and the color, it was resembled with a whiteness and a white as a feather. In the last stanza, मराठीमध्ये मी तुम्हाला आता सांगतो आहे की विवर्स विविंग सॉलेमन स्टील, की सध्याही अतिशय मध्यरात्रीपर्यंत आलेलं काम आहे. विवर सध्याही विणण्याचं काम करतो आहे, परंतु वातावरण अतिशय गांभीर्यपूर्ण आहे, शांततामय आहे, अतिशय शांतता त्या काळामध्ये पसरलेली आहे. आणि आपण बघतोय की ग्रामीण भागातील लवकर झोपून जात असतात दिवसभर काम केल्यामुळे, पण हा विणकर सध्याही काम करतो आहे. बघा त्याचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन बघा, समाजासाठी त्याचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन बघा, लोकांसाठी त्याचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन बघा. तीनही काळाच्यासाठी तो त्याचं काम करत असतो. म्हणजे ही सोसायटी एम्बलिश करण्याचं काम करत असतो. जन्मापासून तर मृत्यूपर्यंत जे काही वेगवेगळे कपडे आम्ही परिधान करत असतो, त्या सगळ्यांचं ज्ञान त्याला आहे आणि त्याचे चातुर्य आहे, त्याच्या स्किलफुल आहे, कारण तो आर्टिझन आहे. तो काय आहे? आर्टिझन आहे, क्राफ्ट्समन आहे, त्याची सगळी कल्पना त्याला आहे. आणि म्हणून तो संध्याकाळच्या या काळामध्ये सुद्धा बघा, तो सुद्धा काम कसं करतो आहे, मूडप्रमाणे करतो आहे. सकाळी नवजात बाळासाठी तो काम करतो आहे, त्याप्रमाणे त्याचे तो कपडे घेतो आहे. संध्याकाळ झालेली आहे, त्याप्रमाणे तो जीवनाच्या सेकंड ॲडल्टहूडसाठी कपडे करतो. त्यावेळेस अतिशय चातुर्याने तो तशा प्रकारचे कलर विणतो आहे, किंवा तशा प्रकारचे कलर त्या विणण्यासाठी ते घेतो आणि तशा प्रकारचं फॅब्रिक तो बनवतो आहे. आता शेवटच्या घडीमध्ये आलेलो आहे. कपडे आपल्याला माहीत आहे की पांढरा कलर हा शांततामय असतो, आणि इथे इटर्नल आपल्याला डेथ झालेली आहे, किंवा आपण शेवटच्या टप्प्यामध्ये आपण इथं आलेलो आहे. फिनरलमध्ये आपण आलेलो आहे. आणि त्या काळामध्ये जी बॉडी असते ती आपल्याला पांढऱ्या कपड्याने विणायची, तेही काम तेच करत असतात. म्हणून इथे सांगितलेलं आहे की विवर्स विविंग सॉलेमन स्टील, व्हॉट डू विव इन द मूनलाइट शील, व्हाईट इज अ फिदर, द व्हाईट इज अ क्लाउड, वी विव अ डेड मॅन्स फ्युनरल श्राउड. So with having a lot of contribution, one should not be ostracized. The contribution of these weavers, and particularly of the Indian weavers. So the poetess has dedicated this poem to the work or to the contribution of the weavers, of the Indian weavers. When adjective is there, there are Indian weavers. So this was the Indian weavers, stanza wise summary. So the poem sum up the human life in the three stages of using symbol like the class and the time of the day. The light starts its journey with a blue color representing the joy and the happiness, and then come green and purple that represent the ups and downs of the life along with the happiness, and finally comes to the single color. White that represent the last stage of the human life when the poem dies. And with him the emotions that we are connected to life die as well. So this is all about the poem. The poetess has artistically intertwined all the three phrases, the colors, the phrases of the day, the events of the life with that color. So this was all about, I think that I'm sure that you understood this poem definitely. We'll meet in the next video with the appreciation of the same poem, with the figure of speech, with the rhyme scheme, with the literary devices. See you then. Bye bye.